Yeah, my name is Justin Mellon. I lived here in California since 1983, and I spent 2/3 of my life out here ever since I was 9. And we moved out here when my dad was still in the Navy, and we've been living here ever since. Well, so some of the unique talents and abilities that I have is that I've been playing the drums ever since I was 9. Been practicing the guitar ever since I was 7, and I've been been given the opportunity to be in some not plays, but I've had the opportunity to kind of draw and write poetry, which is another one of my loves, and do impressions, which is another big strength that I have. Well, so, some of the biggest influences on me because of my talents are we're having to do imitations from back then with when I was in 2nd grade, because I used to be a class clown, and it came at a time with when my mom and my dad were divorced in September of 1981. So I didn't have an outlet to express my frustration. So I kind of became the class clown from back then. And not only that, a lot of my influences came from a lot of movies. A lot of them came from a lot of from a lot of music that I used to listen to from back then. Well, I do impersonations of Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. That's one of them.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
I could do an imitation of Curly Howard, from the Three Stooges. That's.
I'm the victim of circumstance. No.
That's another one, too. I could also, do an impersonation of, characters, from Saturday Night Live, including Eddie Murphy's laugh. I'd like them, to, kind of have them have a question mark about me, with where, I'd like for them, to kind of keep guessing with who the real, Justin Mellon, is, behind all of these talents, that I have, and having to let them know with who I am personally. So it's like I kind of like to have them, kind of figure that out, for themselves, with the kind of a mystery about it. Well, there's just so many sides, to me that come out, as a result of, the talents and everything else, that I have. That it's kind of, I just like to kind of keep people to keep guessing, because there's so many sides. Because if somebody were to step into my world, it's like stepping into, let's say, a landmine, with where you don't know, with what is going to explode from underneath their feet, in case, if they don't know. It's like having them being surprised. They might be surprised, with what can come out of me.